Hello, everyone. Welcome back into our second semi-final here. The big game on the cards, of course, for Canada and Panama. Now, on that Group B side of things, Canada topped it out 3-0. Panama, meanwhile, in Group A, coming in second, 2-1 for them in terms of the win-loss. They actually forfeited their game against the United States, so we never got to see that really play out, but didn't fancy their chances. That maybe tells you a story about what to expect out of Panama here. But indeed, looking forward to this one. And we were just talking. I'm quietly hopeful that Panama might be able to surprise us a bit here.
Generally, they might be able to. I mean, when we look at the performances at the groups, they actually looked pretty good, right? I think in the results we saw, Honduras 2-0. Granted, Honduras did have a pretty tough time, but it was a pretty dominant 2-0 for Panama, 13-3, 13-8. That looks very good on paper. Like you mentioned, though, with their other games, they got a forfeit win against Colombia, and then they forfeited themselves against America. So the only real game we've got to go off is that Honduras game. On the other side, when United States played against them, it was 13-0, 13-2. A little bit more dominant, but I think in both cases, both pretty one-sided games against Honduras. That's the only real data we have to go off. They've only played one game before now being one game away from booking their spot into the World Esports Championship. So far, they've had the easiest route to it. Played bottom of the group, beat them, avoided the top group by just not playing them, and then of course against Colombia getting that forfeit win. We spoke about it as well yesterday. Colombia beat Honduras, and they hadn't have forfeited against Panama. We could have actually seen Colombia here, not Panama, so who knows. But yeah, we're looking towards this one. We've got some open eyes, but we have to really give a lot of credit towards Canada on the other side. Flawless throughout their group. Did play out all their games as well, and all of them were comfortable. 2-0s, didn't really break too much of a sweat, and they were the expected team to top their group, and probably the expected team on the side of the bracket as well to book themselves in towards the grand final. I would personally say they come in as the favorites, and this is the Canada side. 4 to 5 of them play under Team Homino. They're a kind of sort of top-level advanced team within the North American kind of Counter-Strike scene. Joel's, Melio, Yuz, Tensky, and Gabby, may I say, as the fifth. Yeah, honestly, we caught them once. They looked pretty good. Played clean Counter-Strike. Granted, the game that we caught, it was a bit of a stomp, bit of a one-sided affair against Guatemala, 13-5, 13-3. So, as that had been our indication, you'd probably say maybe a little bit better than Honduras, Guatemala. So, if they made that one quite clean, maybe a bit of a chance here. Who knows, right? We're trying to really kind of clutch at straws. There's not a hell of a lot that we can predict coming into this, but my expectation is that I would see Canada as the favorites.
Yeah, for sure. I think that definitely feels like the case, to be honest with you. And again, hopeful that Panama might be able to surprise us a little bit. We'll see whether they can, whether they have sort of a secret little map in there in places. But one of the interesting things around this Panama side actually is that we've only seen 2 maps played out by them, right? Is one of the big things to consider. 2 forfeit games. One was a win, one was themselves forfeiting, right? So really weird sort of situation for Panama, really. I'm sure they would have wanted to play more of the Counter-Strike, but just not having the opportunity. And Honduras were the team that they played off against. They were by far our weakest team in Group A, right? Everybody kind of making mincemeat out of Honduras. So it will be interesting here. But our first check-in with Panama on the other side of things, of course, we've got Golden, Vibs, maybe Vibes, but Vibs, I think, with no E, unfortunately. Pulpa, Tote, and Nothy P, which is a pretty hard name, actually. Nothy P kind of sounds like a lad that you go down to the pub with here in the UK to watch the darts on a weekend. You know what I mean? Either way, Panama...
Real name Craig, by the way, as well.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing to do with his nickname. No idea where it comes from. That's just what everyone calls him.
Yes.
But Panama, of course, looking... I don't know, like a team that could indeed lay down some numbers here. It's just very, very difficult. We don't have a lot of tape for this squad, and it's not like they had the most challenging team to face off against.
Yes, exactly that. So I think as well for Panama, when we look at this, because they haven't really had a lot of Counter-Strike to play, right? They literally just played the one game. They've at least had enough time to prepare, and hopefully that is what they've come in towards. There's a lot of tape on Canada. They would have been able to figure out kind of what the map pool is, at least in a preferential way, figure out sort of what their style of play is and how to counter some of the players over towards Canada. So the hope is that we get to see maybe a little bit of that. But of course, we didn't even really get to catch them, so we don't really know what to expect coming in towards this side. Our expectations for them are a little bit all over the place. We don't really know. We do have the veto. That is what we do know. And an interesting one. First time that we see Vertigo in the map pool is floated towards the end. I think it is in one of our other games that was a 2-0 in all fairness, but this one has the potential of going towards a third. So we'll see, right? We'll see whether maybe that Vertigo is needed. Our first map is going to be Inferno, picked by Panama. Nice and simple, puggy map in all its nature. However, of course, Canada will know how to play this. Same thing happened with the United States in their game against Costa Rica that's just gone. Costa Rica picked into it, and the United States knew how to play that very, very well. So that's the first little warning sign I'm going to throw out there. Canada, of course, then picking towards Nuke. Big fan of the Nuke pick. I love the map, but I also think it really just showcases how confident a side is. It's a very strategically deep map, and the fact that they've got that kind of as a strong part of their pool, I think is a really good thing.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think that for me, it could be potentially a third map out of it, but I'm not entirely sure. This is one of the difficulties that these teams have had, and again, especially maybe some of the teams that are a little lower down don't have that team element, that organization element behind them as USA and Canada have had. It's just the fact that they're playing these very, very basic maps that everyone's going to know, everyone's going to be comfortable on, so you have to bring a really, really good game. Otherwise, you are going to struggle for sure, right? And I think for me, paints a bit of a picture. Canada going into Inferno, but they're like, okay, that's fine. You know, we scrim on it all the time. We play on it all the time. They might even have had some practice today, you know, earlier on in the day. What would it be in a weekend and whatnot? There's no sort of job excuses and things like this coming in. Pure focus on the Counter-Strike. So I think they'll be really ready for a map like Inferno to come in, just work on the basics. In the same vein, they will have been doing the same on their Nuke. So I feel that Canada are in a really strong spot now with where this veto has gone down. However, I like the idea, I like the narrative that maybe Panama can give us a bit of something, and again, hopefully take a map hit. You know, we don't want both semi-finals, both qualification games ultimately being super one-sided.
Yes, exactly that. I'm quite excited coming into this one. Of course, for us, it's our final game here for this qualifier. We get to book in the last spot as well from the Americas as a whole. South America concluded yesterday, and of course now we get to book in the final one here. Over from South America, for those of you who joined us for that, we had Team Argentina make it through, which is essentially crew. If those are a little bit more kind of following, and then obviously Team Chile as well with the other side to make it through the South American qualifier. So we've already got one in the United States. We're about to book our second team in towards the World Esports Championships in November in Riyadh. So it's very exciting times. We're looking forward to it. And then we have nearly concluded all of the qualifiers. Just two more that has to be finished off here, which is the Asia Championship held in Chengdu and the African Championship held in Casablanca, Morocco, which is coming up in just about a month now. Actually, just less than a month, a couple of weeks now, in all fairness. I think it starts on the 16th, if I'm right in saying off the top of my head. So for those of you who've been enjoying the IESF Counter-Strike and want to see what goes on there, that is going to be on LAN as well. And 2 teams from Africa are making it through. And then from Asia, we have 5 teams in total to round out all the spots for then Riyadh in the end. So we're getting there. We've been on these qualifiers now with, you know, we had Anders on for a little bit, yourself, Paladin, us, and, you know, we've kind of gone through all of the different regions now. And we're getting towards the end. It's a sad thing to say, in all fairness. We're getting towards the end. We've been here since just before the player break. And yeah, now it's getting towards its final moments.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's a lot of Counter-Strike jammed in. You know, it is a lot of Counter-Strike that we've had going down. And again, the player break, I think it's one of those things where, like, for the top level, you can kind of understand it. But when it comes down to mid-level, when it comes down to tournaments like this that obviously involve a lot of teams of very different ability, I think that it's great to just have Counter-Strike on all the time. Yeah, no, that's absolutely what we are after. Unfortunately, on the opposite side of that coin, I'm now going to have to take us across to a little bit of a break here. It does seem like we've got some connectivity issues coming in. One of the things to consider here, folks, is the fact that Canada is all the way up there and Panama's all the way down there, right? So I think it's going to be a bit of a challenge, depending especially on where these Canadians are at. If they're, you know, super far up in Canada, it might be difficult to find a server. Are they going to be able to say, yep, I play, you know, Panamanians all the time. I know exactly what server to go for. So I think there's going to be a little bit of trial and error here to find what server works best for everyone. So you're going to have to bear with us while we figure that one out. But for the time being, folks, we're going to take a break. We'll see you after this. Hello, guys. Welcome back in. Thank you for your patience on that one. Obviously, wanted to get the Counter-Strike started as soon as possible, ultimately, but it would seem figuring out that server taking a little bit of time. We are being led to believe by admins and all sorts that things should be ready to go here within the next couple of minutes. So hopefully not going to be waiting too long before we get into it. Canada versus Panama for that last spot in from the North American qualifier here, of course. Riyadh awaiting in November. Very much looking forward to getting into this one. We do have Canada down, pinned as the favourites, but there is maybe a bit of hope here for Panama that they can potentially bring things a bit closer and maybe take them out.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're looking at this with probably the expectations pretty heavy on the side of Canada. There obviously have been a side who, so far this qualifier, have looked really good. Lodged up to map all the way through, most of which have been very comfortable. We are live. We are in the server. We already sort of mentioned it. Canada to Panama is pretty far, so I feel like there might be, somebody taking a hit. Somebody's on some sort of maybe slightly higher ping, but we'll see. Either way, we are live. It's glad to see it as well. As we get this game on the way, Panama going to be starting on that T side. Canada on the CT side, as Inferno is Panama's pick. Let's see what Panama have got for us. We haven't caught these guys yet, so we don't really know what to expect.
Very true indeed. They've actually not played loads and loads of Counter-Strike in the qualifier. 2 forfeit games, so it's going to be interesting here. Same for Canada to go back and watch. Focus on your own game. That might just work for you. Yuz going to seal it in as he finds Pulper, but the triple kill from Jaws make it quadruple. Will indeed seal that one in. Canada with a clean find.
Yeah, I'm just looking now as well, and so the average flight time, Canada to Panama, is about 5.5 hours. That's like on a...
Do you know, that's a bit lower than I expected, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, that's from Toronto, though, which is like, the absolute lowest end, really, of Canada. I think most of them require a stop, I think, via Toronto. I think it averages, it says, around 6 hours. That might include stops as well in some cases, and it's 5,740 kilometers away.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, like, pounds then, man.
No.
I was going to be like, excuse me.
No. 5,740 kilometers away from each other. I think, actually, I can tell you, the average flight cost is around £450.
Fairly reasonable. Return?
Yeah. Good question, actually. No, I think it might be a single.
Okay.
That's looking heavy. Yeah, that is a single.
Yeah, that's unfortunate then. That is a bit unfortunate. You got to really into the idea of going to Panama maybe for that kind of cost. Has been a kill here for Pulper, but doesn't really matter all that much. Ensky making money on that MP5, in fact. So Canada with the flash in, make it look clean. Nice and easy. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of interesting. We should have done that a little bit more, What is the flight time from these countries? How far is it in between? Just to kind of give you a bit of a picture. And it just goes to show as well, you look on a map and you're like, it feels in my head from what I can see that Toronto to Panama would be further than Toronto to London, for example. But that goddamn ocean is pretty big. You don't really consider it.
What I can see as well, Panama looks absolutely gorgeous. I'm having a little look at the Google images. Looks like a beautiful place, I must say. So maybe one day an esports event could be in Panama, and we'll be there. If the offer was there, I'd say yeah. Those beaches look pretty incredible. Either way, first gun round that has come through here for Panama already. So it's going to be Dinks. That's going to make his life a little harder. Elio wants to fight. Oh, he spots him deep mid. He just spots Tote tucked in that corner. He was waiting for a banana push. Didn't realize that his gun barrel was betraying him. Tensky gets a little too aggressive, though. And he'll fall.
Yeah, this is where it comes in again, right? Similar to our earlier game where the favorite, the overdog, has to just be careful not to underestimate their opponent. Oh, Yo's timing. He has just heard a step here. His position so good. They didn't really even check him. Jols will secure another. Does go down. So 2 versus 2, definitely workable. Elio's really, really close to proceedings here, though. I'm not sure that they're necessarily going to expect him, and sort of fumbling around a little. This smoke is going to start going down, so There's a world in which he could get the drop. Still can't deny the bomb plant away. Molotov comes in, catch onto Golden. It's down to Nothi, and there it is. Works out beautifully. Just that catch on the pit player, a bit too easy for Canada. Still, first rifle round comes in, and that is really damn close.
Yeah, and it is one of those as well where you've made it all down to the 1 versus 1. However, and, you know, hate to be a bit of a downer on the mood in a sense, but that was the first gun run out for Panama against a bonus buy on the other side too, right? The gun just brought in from that previous round. Canada make it stick pretty nicely as well for them. So, all in all, I don't think they're complaining too much over on the Canadian side. 3 rounds off the rip on your opponent's map pick. CT side starting pretty well. I think there's a lot to like there. With that bomb plant and the loss bonus, still can't squeeze out a buy here. They're just going to be a little bit of a lesser one. Second mid flash is a beaut. Oh, yes. Make that 3. Goes for the pistol to see it off. He can't get the ace. It's stolen away from his grasp, but I think he's happy with 4.
Yeah, I think so too. All right. Back round for another buy. Panama looking to get themselves on the board. Awfully close last time of asking, but ultimately unable. Should be decent enough here. We got Nothi P out on the Kevlar AWP. So he is pretty killable in this round, right? Not going to be too many opportunities. But then, with an AWP, you missed a shot. It's kind of the same sort of logic. Oh, it's the glass cannon. What the hell is that? So, opens up. Absolutely mental frag. Gabby is up close, though. Just got to be careful not to send it in and feed him kills. Despite the crazy opener, it feels like Canada have got an upper hand here, particularly if they win that fight, which they do. So just down to 3 now for Panama.
Nice. Some awkward fights that have been taken. I mean, damage has been dealt both ways. Still a chance. AWP in play as well for Nothi P. Just to see what he can do with it as well. Yes, going to post up in towards the barrel. Vibes. He's going back. He might have been caught there. He will definitely be checked. Down he falls. Up in for the trade. Nothi P now holding for a second, but he can't get it. Gabby, patient, spots the leg of the last as well. And his teammate will see it off. That's great teamwork in that 1 versus 2 there. Biding the time so they peak together. And they do brilliant stuff. Really nicely done. 5-0. And a gun round again that doesn't go the way of Panama. Tough stuff, to say the least. AWP does get collected as well. We Melio wielding it. But a 5-0 is pretty solid for Canada. We'll have a tack pause coming through. An opportunity for Panama to have a little conversation. Talk about what has gone right and wrong. And there's been these moments that have looked, you know, fairly decent. At least they can make something out of it. They do need to be careful though, not to allow Canada to spiral in such a positive way this early on. If that is to be the case, things could become problematic very quickly.
Okay, let's see. Getting back into the action then. Panama. Oh, okay. Hold on. Hold on.
Back to back.
Oh. Yeah, we're stacking them. We're stacking them. This is what we would call at the high level of the game kind of BM. But maybe for these guys, they feel like they need a little more time to talk things over. But yeah, the double stack timeouts is often a cheeky move. And we don't quite have a read on who's doing it. So, you know.
True.
It could be Panama's just called one. Could be Canada's called one right back. Mind games here on Inferno.
Yeah, exactly that. Exactly. Either way, the second one concluded, and we will get back underway in just a moment. You know, big call to go for the back-to-back pause there, and something's got to come in towards this next round for Panama to at least bring them something. Hello. 3. Now, a third tack pause makes me think that they're meaning to do a tech pause.
We have had it written in the Discord, to be fair. Sorry to interrupt. Yeah. We have had it written from production that it's a tech pause. I did think not quite sure what's going on in that sense. But yeah, I think you are correct.
Yeah, I think when there's 3 in a row like that, I feel like it does. Yeah, it is meant to be a tech pause. So yeah, we're getting underway. Hopefully, when it's done in just a moment. My assumption maybe on towards Golden. Golden hasn't bought in yet, so maybe it's him who's not in the server, and we need to get him back in. and all the rest. But yeah, 5-0 start for Canada. Pretty good for them. We want to still see things continuing to spiral in a positive way, though. I need to see kind of this Canadian side just keep the foot on the gas. Don't allow any sort of instance of where Panama can get back into this. And so far, there really hasn't been any indication that that is going to be the case. So for now, all looks good. Fortunately, we are on a tech pause. That's the only thing that isn't good.
Very true, sir. Yeah, we're kind of waiting to get things kicked off. It is difficult, but, you know, we had some issues coming into the game, unfortunately, so maybe they are just plaguing a little bit here. But crossing fingers, crossing toes that this is not going to be a consistent factor. Just a little bit scary for us. I think, you know, the tech pauses come in with the lack of information. It can be a little difficult. Seemingly, we're maybe getting closer. We've got a couple names typing in here, feeding us information, and it looks like the game shouldn't be too much longer before it gets underway.
Good. That's what we like to see. It seems like the players are getting ready and all the rest, at least from what we can see. That's all we can ask, really, of them. In a 5-0 start, though, for Panama, it looks like we're going to be buying back in, I think, when Golden gets back in, ultimately. But, yeah, I mean, I look at this as an opportunity again for Panama. We haven't seen a huge amount from them just yet. They've been a little bit quiet in these early rounds. Few kills, yes, but in terms of getting around, bar that maybe that one that goes down to the 1 versus 1, they haven't looked incredibly quick. So, out the gates, maybe a little bit of that slower start, not quite awakened towards this game, but also just kind of they're showing their class too. They are a side who have looked very, very clean.
Yeah, 100%, man. 100%. Hopefully the game going to be getting back underway. You know, I feel like I've baited people in maybe a little bit, but I think we are sort of being told and everything that people are getting ready and getting back into the game. Yeah. Golden, obviously, in and out here. Not quite sure what the crack's going to be, whether there's, you know, subs and things like this, if he is going to be having more long-term issues. But for the time being, not with us, you know. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. We should do a little bit more. I don't know. Is there anything? I feel like Panama crops up a lot in films, you know? Always like a really cool spot for people to sort of hang out and like maybe bump into each other and be like, oh my God, what are you doing here? I'm on the run. Oh, I'm on the run too. You know, everyone always seems to end up in Panama. I'm
looking at some of the pictures now, and this place looks pretty, like, it looks like kind of something out of a dream, you know what I mean? Like, it's got a couple of, like, at least from what I can see, one major city, which is like, you know, skyscrapers and the rest, and then these like incredible beaches. I think Panama City is the capital. I need to check that. Panama capital is, yes, it is Panama City. Okay, there you go. So yeah, the capital of Panama is called Panama, and yeah, it's like this massive city with like, you got one side these like beautiful beaches, other side you got these like massive skyscrapers. It looks pretty cool. I think there's no two ways about it. It's got a nice little dock as well. I'm assuming some people come on holiday might bring the yacht or whatnot. I'm not 100% sure, but hey, it looks good.
Be nice.
Looks hella nice. Either way, look at that. We're live. Let's get it back underway here. Oh, pow. Nice find. Melio has not taken his foot off the gas at all.
Indeed, Golden, though, he will answer back with also a all brakes, no gas kind of move in towards this B-bomb site. Smoke laid down, not much they can do off the back of it, but they'll take an even up. They will take the upgraded weapon. Melio keeps the aggression coming, though. Fearless, this guy. Wrestles back that man advantage.
Oh, Joel's double from him. The lockout beat. Last man's over towards A. Melio's the one. And he'll get him with ease as well. Tote gets caught. And only a couple of casualties. Canada are going to get their 6th and are looking very, very good. They're absolutely flying right now in the early part of this game. For Panama, they actually can't buy back in for the most part. Oh, I spoke too soon. They could have bought back in, and Golden's gone. There comes a point where, if this is a recurring thing, we've got to say, maybe someone's got to step in for Golden. Ping issues and all the rest. Oh, I mean, he's quickly back in, to be fair to him. So, hey, I can't discredit it. He's back in pretty immediately.
Yeah, back on the action. Okay.
He might even beat the timer here. He can buy back in. He's got his money.
Might have been like a hangover from the issue that he had before, to be fair.
Yeah.
Maybe not quite solidly in. It can happen, when you're sort of playing on these third-party servers and everything, that connection's just slightly dodgy. You might have a bit of a weird move. So we'll see. We'll see. It's a really, really challenging look for Panama at the moment, especially with this player in and out and in and out. It obviously is going to have kind of a negative effect on their vision, but I feel it's the rounds themselves, Canada getting into their groove, and really looking scary now.
Yes, exactly. We are live, though, which is all we could ask for. This show back on the road. Fire back out for Panama. First fight into a second mid. Who knows what happens there? Joel's actually will end up winning it out. He looks for more, and he's got to go. Oh, my God, he's got to get it, Joel's. What is that? Tapping away. Oh, my. That is beautiful. Joel's looks clean as hell so far. 12-2 he finds himself in the early part of this game. My Lord. I feel like I have to see that replay again, because from Joel's, that was ridiculous.
Yeah, dog. Absolutely crazy stuff. Here we go. Gonna get it. Oof. Ooh, yeah, the double tap at the end is just really clean. Very impressive stuff, and again, painting a really bleak picture for Panama as yet to get on the board. Canada hoping to keep it that way. Potentially should in this round. However, the relentless aggression. First time we've kind of seen it really out of Panama. Trying to get the catches. Not going to happen initially, but they will gain control. Oh, they get to cross. Oh, okay, that's a bit awkward. Vibso doesn't quite capitalize. Joel's making his way in here. Of course, there is no smoke down towards the coffin. The Molotovs are sound. His not so much, but they've done enough. It feels. Tote left very low. Down he will go. Bits of damage, but it doesn't matter too much. You see where that CT economy is at? Canada are not bothered. They've locked in 8. They are looking down for this super one-sided first half.
Yeah, no, it's true. Oh my. I mean, 8-0 already. Oh, no, we've lost Golden. 8-0 already, though, is pretty sick. There is just no two ways about it. Canada look so clean. And the only issue that's stopping them from basically waltzing away to a very quick and one-sided map is just the fact that Golden's no longer in the server. You hate to see it. We'll hopefully get it fixed. I mean, he's back in.
It looks like his back timer's going, so I'm not quite sure what the dealio is, man.
Maybe him to the server is the issue. Like he's got power. His PC's working, the game's working, but like something between like him and the server's not having a good time. Maybe it's like an anti-cheat issue as well. That seems to be sometimes a bit of a reoccurring thing, and all the rest. Again. Either way, he's back in. He's bought. Time is here. We're live.
For sure, I think maybe some of the players not really comfortable, not really ready for anti-cheats and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But we'll see. It could be an issue. It could just be dipping in and out. But it is quite quick. It is quite quick. Even like leaving and rejoining the game usually doesn't feel that fast.
It's true.
So there's something going on. There is something going on. Nothy P finds the head of Melio, who has been kind of a nuisance in some of these early stages. Tensky with the AWP on the other side of things, though. Utility does look good here. Trying to track down another. Trying to spam down. He knows what's up. Knows that there is likely to be a player hidden in the cubby. But the smoke is pretty good here from the T side to just starve information away. So 4v4. Although brief. Joels, who else, continues getting frags. Boost coming up here. Tensky, a couple of angles for him to contend with, but all good in the end. Vibs alone. He's got the bomb. That's about all he's got going for him.
3 versus 1. Vibes looking for the... He's opening fight. I know his name says Vibs, but it just sounds cooler for it to be Vibes, you know what I mean?
It's definitely supposed to be Vibes in it, but like...
Yeah, it's just without the E.
Can I betray the English language in this way?
Yeah. This is not how the language works, but in all fairness, he's going to get a kill here. Oh, okay, I thought for a second. Oh my God, that was a little dicey. Bomb will go down. That's at least a good start. Maybe it's on the card here. Back turn, though. He's going towards Moto. The Bauk player could catch him as he's looking for a fight, and he's going to go pretty far away from the bomb, which, in a way, might work in his favor.
Yeah, possibly. The smoke, though, man. They're just going to hold it, even on the 10-second. Ooh, the molly. It brings him off. I'm not sure whether he's going to be able to find it here, though. A wild run in, and now the kit on it. Tap down. Should be able to find it. Well played by Yuz. Cool. Under the pressure. It is close in the end, right? It needed to be perfect, but he makes it work. Certainly does beg the question a little bit that we didn't get that kit on it initially. Closest, however, that they have come on the Panamanian side of things in a long, long time. Unfortunately, unable to take it over.
Yeah. Closest we've had from them in the very least. That's the second 1v1 though that's gone the way of Canada. It just feels like right now they can't lose is the issue. Every single time Panama have an advantage, unable to make it stick. A 1v3 which does nearly get off the ground for Panama, but in the end, nice little retake. Pulled off in quite a comfortable fashion there. Golden. In on the pass, spamming. Finding too much. The first fight will actually cost him his life.
Oh my goodness, what has happened on the kill feed? Holy hell. We were trained in on Yuz trying to see what he could find. And he also gets a kill, you know, just to keep this teammate alive. I don't know. Tensky, we'll see if he can find his, but he's pretty far away from the action. Nothy P. Silent moves down the cart here. Spots out one. Gonna need a miracle. Oh, Tensky plucked out of the air. Fair play to Nothy P for that, but it's all he's able to find. Close across the board. Close across the board for sure, but Canada keeping 4 alive. And, of course, 10 in a row now from them.
Looking great. Looking really great, Canada, making pretty light work of this Inferno so far. Just gliding through the rounds, not breaking too much of a sweat here for the most part. And all the double digits is exactly what you want to see. Big indication of things to come for Canada, looking in a very nice way. I mean, they're not pulling any punches. They're obviously showing the proper respect towards Panama and not allowing these guys to kind of run riot on this mid-control. They're fighting them for it, and so far so good. Spam is good. Jols will catch the first. Toke going to get caught through the smoke. Unfortunate way to fall. The Molotov would have given away the position of Pulper, and he also gets caught too.
Nothy P does come round for one. Vibs makes sure that it is traded out. 3 versus 2 here. Jols, though, with the bomb drop. Yeah, he confirms it. Just down to the one-man army. Oh. Cheeky from Jols. Definitely had time to pull off a reload there, but trying to get away with murder, ultimately. Flash comes round, and although it doesn't blind him, it sets Yuz up nicely. And that will be 11 now. Canada, potentially the 13-0 here.
Yeah, no, exactly. This is beautiful stuff, though, from Canada, isn't it? We kind of said as well, when you pick into a map like Inferno against a side as solid as Canada or the United States, as we saw in our previous series, they know how to play these maps, being as well that Canada are a team and an organization themselves. They obviously have a lot of time in the server, pracs, scrims, and officials. You know, we saw this as a side who, from my understanding, play in advance within North America and do pretty decent work there, at the very least. Mac 10, golden for the first. Toad will trade out for the second. That's B open.
Yeah, okay. This could be something for Panama. For sure. I'm going to go down. Oof, just barely. Just barely. Decent damage done then on what is now a retake. Gotta be careful, right? This is where, you know, you're 11-0 up. Surely going to get giddy. Everybody going to be confident just taking their fight. But I think there's a dream available here. The kill not quite capitalized on from above. And suddenly it swings back in favor of the CTN. Pulper, clean headshot found. Any more on the cards here? Difficult fights happening. But the man advantage has given Panama a keen position to work with. Hold on to the bomb for Yuz. Oh, this is dangerously close. At 0.1 of a second. They really did wait before checking that bomb. Either way, Panama, they will stave off the 13-0.
Yeah, now that's at the very least. We'll take the small inklings and all the rest. But, I mean, that is the sort of round they needed. right at the tail end, get up in their face, make sure Canada feel uncomfortable, get a bomb down, and then put the clock above them. And while it very nearly betrays Panama right at the tail end, oh my god, that was 0.12. It's absolutely ridiculous. 11-1. However, it's still a massive resurgence needed for Panama, with Canada only being 2 rounds away from taking this map with relative ease, ultimately. And the dink to start things off is exactly what Canada would want.
Indeed. Nade comes round. That's actually some pretty good damage once it's all said and done. Can they capitalize, though? You know, the damage not necessarily going to be enough. You need the headshots. Yours is showing you how. Keep rolling in here. Potential for 2. Oh, can't quite get it. Can't quite get it. It's maybe set up. We'll see. There's a kit. There's a decent amount of utility for these B players, but no armor is the issue, right? So they're going to need some really quick kills. Bit cheeky around this corner. Molotov comes in, and it is perfectly placed, to be fair. Tensky, though, spins around to find number 12. And to hammer this one home, 11 in a row for Panama. I personally don't see it happening.
No, I think it's pretty safe to call that one at this point. Canada have just looked so clean. So good. Man, what a showing, though, from Canada. I mean, this is exactly the sort of team we expected coming in towards this game. They've looked great. They're pretty clear favorites from the get-go. They were always decided that, you know, when we said right at the start, who do I expect to make it all the way to the finals? We said the USA, and we also said Canada from this side of the bracket. And so far, it's looking exactly like that prediction is going to be right. Mach 10 of Joel's for the first. He's running and gunning for the second. Golden going to double down, though. That's not bad.
Certainly feels workable. Tensky, however, trades him out. The Deagle. Nothy P. Looks clean. 2-man remaining now for Canada. And we'll see. Tote is kind of crossable. They're just contacting up mid, trying to see what they can get away with. Pulper. Maybe overfacing, maybe drawing them in. They hear the footsteps at the last second, however. Spin around to find Tote, the 5-7 of Pulper, looking to go a bit late. Yuz, patience pays off. That's really quite smart, actually. Nothy P ringing away, but there's no one on the other end of this Deagle at the moment. Got to clear these angles. Not going to be easy. They know where he's at. They're tracking him down. He manages to isolate, but does not make a difference. Melio to clean it up. 13-1. Canada, I think, might have put our doubts to bed. Our hopes maybe about Panama and what they are capable of. Super one-sided stuff, and it's not even their map.
Exactly that. That was a dominant showing in a pretty crazy fashion as well coming through. They just looked so good all the way throughout that. Canada, no real weaknesses. Realistically, very easily could have been a 13-0 as well, bar that last round. And I'm looking at this now and saying for Canada, if that's what they're like on their opponent's map pick, my God, what are they going to be like heading in towards their own? On towards that Nuka map, which is very difficult to play when we're, you know, a side that maybe don't have as deep a strat book as is sort of evident with Panama to a degree. Canada can come in towards that one and run riot. They'll be starting on that T side too, so they're going to be the ones setting the tone. And I'm sure they're going to be playing very quick.
Yeah, 100%, man. 100%. You know, there were a few moments in there where Panama maybe got a bit unlucky in the early stage, but as it went on, Canada just got more and more confident, shooting gallery down middle in particular, and you can see just so composed in a lot of these rounds is one of the key things. It just sort of goes to show that they're not really feeling under threat, right? Just the way that they were able to work their way through a lot of the retakes as well that ended up going down, or moments like this where it's a little bit close. They lost the first player in a few rounds and whatnot, but it didn't throw them off their game, is ultimately how it goes. Not quite the 13-0, but close enough. You know, they'll be happy with that.
Yeah, exactly that. And it was at one side of the fair, some very quick run of highlights as well. A couple of nice moments, in all fairness, on Panama, but it was just, you know, an outclassing. Canada just looked so good. Joel's all the way through, looks very solid. 19 kills to the same. Yuz as well. He had that one brilliant clip as well with the one taps. He looked clean as 17 for him. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. 13-1. I mean, there really isn't too much to say, is there? It's just a dominant showing of one side of the fair, and on your opponent's map, no less, to really lay down the law.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think completely fair enough. Just the way that they have come into that game, and it just looked all too easy, didn't it, really? I think it's kind of the difficulty for Panama, just the fact that, you know, there are 13 ones and then there are 13 ones, really. When you're just swinging in, taking fights and not getting punished, I think it's a very different story to really solid setups, to the lack of preparation for your opponents, right? And key clutches going your way and things like this. I think just the fact that on that CT side especially, they were able to, just fly in, get aggressive, and get away with a bit too much, arguably, to be honest with you. So we'll see now for Panama. We, of course, have that second map coming through. Going to be a bit of a challenge here. It's Nuke. If you can't make the Inferno work, Nuke's a really scary prospect, right? It's a very, very, very different game when you get into that high-level team-based Counter-Strike. We're going to take a break, folks, but Canada on the verge of qualification. We'll see you in a bit. Welcome back in, Counter-Strike enjoyers. We are ready and raring to go for our second map here, of course. Canada with the 13-1. I think that tells you all you need to know. About Inferno, it was Panama's pick. Now we have Nuke coming up, and everything points towards Canada getting this qualification spot. The way that they were able to display themselves, play aggressive, not get punished is, I think, a very, very telltale sign of what is in store here for map 2.
Yeah, honestly, they just look so good. I mean, there really is little to no complaints, basically, at all from Canada. They looked really, really clean all the way through. Very little to no mistakes. No mistakes that really were costly for them. There was like a couple of rounds where that went down to like a 1v1, but then again, it was only Canada winning them out. They come in towards this now with a prime opportunity to be able to take this 2-0, book this spot for the World Esports Championship with ease, right, at this point, because they're going on to their map pick, I think is the big thing. We're heading on towards Nuke. Canada will be starting on the T side, at the very least. So that is a thing for me where it's like, okay, sure, the T side at times can be very difficult to build up. It can be a little bit harder to get a bit of momentum at times and all the rest. However, it still is the thing where, at least from what we've seen so far, it looks like two sides at completely different levels of their game right now in terms of in the server. I just think Panama, unfortunately for them, are struggling to be able to keep up with Canada just in terms of the raw mechanics. I think you can just see some of the players, I mean, Joel in particular, which is so crisp, right? I mean, if you have a player like that and you don't have anybody who can sort of respond to a player like him, I don't really know what you can do to change things up.
Yeah, to be honest, I can't really add too much to what you've said. Like, the sentiment is echoed in my thoughts as well. So it's a really challenging look, absolutely. And again, it is just a case of whether Panama will be able to give us something to sort of work with, something to be happy about, and give themselves something to be happy about. You know, we talked about this in the first series as well. You made it through to the playoffs. You come up against the favorites, but I think the best of the rest is not a bad look here for some of these lesser developed regions. You know, coming into this, I think the only other country that you could name a player from would be Guatemala, right? And it is only one dude. So a bit of a challenge for these teams, and they've done very well to get here, but that development sort of north of the borders is a hell of a lot higher, you know, and it really is a challenging look here. This is a tier 2 NA team, a tier 2 Canadian team, and this is what they're able to sort of put down for us, you know. So that just kind of goes to show the level above, unfortunately, for Panama in this particular case, that these two teams, USA and Canada respectively, are able to bring.
Yes, exactly. And I just think right now for Panama, this is probably going to be a big learning experience. You know, making it in towards playoffs is one thing alone, but then taking on the side of Canada's caliber, it's always so difficult. And I think that's the big difference. I think Panama, at least from what we've seen so far, really met their match. This is a really solid side with a lot to give in Canada, and that they just are probably one of those things where now I think for, let's say for example, this map is going to continue in the same sort of fashion. It's about learning going forward and saying, how can we come in towards next year's qualifiers and bring kind of a little bit of a higher level? How can we maybe challenge teams like Canada? Maybe they're not ready exactly right now, but at least for the moment, this is a Panama side who definitely need a completely different outlook heading towards map number 2 if they want a chance. We should be getting in towards the game hopefully sooner rather than later. I think from my understanding, we should be heading in underway in just a moment. There we go. Game is live. Canada starting on that T side. Panama on the CT side, which, in all fairness, on the CT side, the most CT side map in the pool, maybe a chance.
It is something. It is a silver lining to this situation that you are in. The touch of grey, of course, being that you can't lose here. Otherwise, your hopes of qualification go with it. Nothy P takes the first fight, does indeed win it. We got a lot of players down the vent, but much that they are able to do with this. Come on now. Come on now. Tensky with the knife, hanging about to try and get it done. They are going to be taught a lesson as they get a bit slapped around downstairs. But we'll see. Tensky, as well as his knife kills, also managed to find a head. Going to create space for the bomb to go down. And this is a really, really scary spot, right? So many headshot angles. Unfortunately, no more for Canada. Panama picking up the pistol. This is some steam now in the system.
Big thing is, though, Tensky with the knife, 2 kills, a bomb plant. They're going to have a pretty solid buy coming through. Tensky gets AK armor, full util out, which is pretty sick. And I'm sure they're probably going to buy around this. I would be very surprised if Canada don't. They've even looked good on half buys, so I'm sure there's probably going to be a confidence play coming through, and that is exactly going to be the case. AK pulled out, 2 MAC-10s, 2 upgraded pistols, and probably a decent chance, just because when you look at the other side for Panama, 5 MP9s across the board as they prioritize utility. This is the sort of buy where Canada could be able to just brute force their way into this.
Yeah, very possible. Very, very possible. So we'll see. Panama are going to have to keep their eyes on the ball. A lot of aggression coming round from Canada as well as they look to be unbothered. They've got a lot of space outside. We'll see. Tensky gets down and catches Golden a little unawares. Not much that he can really do about that. Pulper out with a trade. Nothy P as well. It's all over the place right now, Neo. There's fights all over the shop. Player in at heaven. Who's going to expect that, right? It's very unpredictable stuff. Vibs down below. Nothy P kind of helping him out as well. So the bomb should get planted here, but it is, I believe, spill. Oh, no, it's in behind. Okay, they've not really picked it up, unfortunately. This is just a wild round.
Yeah, that's true. What is happening here? He's been spotted, and it's a little bit of a labored spray. Yuz going to punish. And just like that, we are going to see Canada answering back. Force bite, successful. No AK kept alive. Is, I guess, a small silver lining over towards the Panama side, but it still is going to be then coming in with a pretty rough force bite of their own, heading in towards this next, which could be a chance for Canada to streak on this T side. This one, it felt like there was going to be a moment of respite for Panama. It immediately gets thrown back in their face. We do see, in all fairness, not a force buy. I mean, normally we just match force buy to force buy, but I guess if they have enough money left in reserves and they're not double eco, why not? 2 down vent, that's huge already. You're going to get 1 over towards ramp.
Yeah, maybe just the virtue of like the money being made for some of the players. Kind of curious, but not going to see too much out of this round as to be expected. Gabby, he gets some action. Money on the MAC-10, speaking of. And the SMG's coming alive across the board. Canada will keep that money rolling. Tensky flexing the movement, but ultimately look into this one. What are Panama going to be able to give us here?
Yes, no, exactly. That one was always feeling like a little bit of a throwaway. Anyway, bit of a chance to farm up the cash on the other side as well. SMG's getting the bulk of those kills in that round, which is good for the long-term econ. And you should have keep hold of the SMGs in towards this round here. And in all fairness, yeah, this is the issue I was kind of talking about. I'm interested that Panama didn't go for a buy-in towards the last, because you, with 1.4k loss bonus, you can't bring a hell of a lot to the table, but they've got the opening 2 kills, so maybe I speak too soon.
Yeah, definitely possible. Joel's, unfortunately, is going to dampen the hopes. Don't on the MAC-10. Ooh, hold on. Hello? Where has that come from? He's got no armor. How's he even brought this down to the 1v1? And I mean, Tensky is incredibly low, but probably unexpected above here would be the angle. Tote, of course, the one thing that gets away from him is a lack of time. Checks his angles, though. And Tensky, I figured he would have had the drop. I don't understand how he doesn't find that kill. It looked like he'd seen him.
I think he did. Honestly, if I had to guess, I think he was gonna try and knife or something, because there's no way. He saw his shoulder for like a solid 2 seconds. Unless maybe we're talking about something like lag or something of the sort, but I'm sure he saw him for at least a second there as he was sort of half jiggling out on that left-hand side, and he would have been able to kill him. All it took would have been one bullet. But yeah, I think he might have been trying to do something a little bit cheeky, and it's come back to bite him, and they've given Panama another round. So, I mean, credit to the CT side, in all fairness. They will get a buyout now as well. They do have an AWP, which is great. On the other side, AK's out on deck as well. Molotov comes down. Just gonna go through. They want to fight here, and it's a 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah, Canada maybe being taught a lesson in the previous, right? But they come back into this one with a vengeance. Maybe a bit too much as well, you know, just turning on each other a little. All the same, looking very, very clean. Tote is left incredibly low from an earlier exchange. So it looks very, very good here for my money. 3 versus 2. They have to watch themselves a little as well. However, Gabby, with shots like that, maybe there's nothing to worry about. Tote at the back end of the site here should be able to shut things down.
Yeah. Surely. Spotted. Tap down. Will be seen off there. Mayo catches him. Tote falls. And Canada back to their winning ways. Now, I think on the other side too, let's just make sure that we don't allow things to be a little too loose in the style. I think for Canada, because it's a one-sided first map, they may be having a little bit of fun here, but I think for them, they need to also make sure that they don't allow Panama too much space in this one. They want to make sure that they at least confirm this half first, and then you can have your fun, you know what I mean? Or I guess you can have your fun when you celebrate if you win. Well, don't do what happened yesterday where, you know, Guatemala let things choke out into that map 2, which would have been them closing out the series, and it all fell apart. Don't let anything like that happen. Yours, Melio for the first 2. Nice and easy.
Yep, looking good here. Just a couple remaining. Tote again on this SMG is able to keep the dream alive for at least a little while longer. Nothing P going to have been heard. Trying to track down the MP9. It's proving somewhat difficult, but the Deagle easier. Tote just 13 HP. Not too many areas that you can be in. Check your angles here. Should be able to get away with it. Running out of ammo. Knives out. Everybody getting frisky down there, but Canada will manage to take it. And again, maybe learning their lesson, keeping nice and keen in that round. Nice and easy for them to solidify the lead, and should be able to keep it going here. The money is all over the shop for Panama.
Yeah, no, it is. Man, this is the tough thing. They're in a weird decision where, you know, maybe kind of trying to like half reset it might be the way forward, but who knows? 4-2. There should be a 5th here as well. Deagle wants to try and get this opening kill and can't. Yuz swings, finds Golden, gets dropped.
Spam outside, successful for 1. They're going to keep it coming here, Canada. Similar to Inferno, unafraid to take the fights. And they will continue winning them. Tote spots the toes, but can't find the kill on Temelio. It's just going to be Vibs. Eagle out. No headshot landing. Flawless one for Canada. Pretty big deal. You can see where the cash is at. Gabby probably needs to drop, but nobody died. So that just kind of paints the picture for you, to be honest, with how dominating some of these rounds have been. Definitely a couple hiccups in places, but I think they are going to kind of just go through the motions here and continue dominating.
Yeah, it's true. Very true. Back into a buy. We have the AWP part as well. At the very least for Panama, maybe a chance to work with something here. Smoke over to and Molly over towards Mayo. I said a flash behind it too, looking to fight, and towards outside. Melio gets caught, but Gabby in for a trade. Maybe a second as well, as Joels will catch him on the run. That's lovely.
All too easy. Gabby finds a double spray down as well. Golden getting picked off, and Canada just running rampant, man. There is absolutely no chance, it feels like. Really disastrous stuff here. Panama have dropped off the cliff, you know. The clutch was kind of nice, but keeping it going here is just not looking good. So we'll see. This is where, you know, you'd want your timeouts to kind of come in from, but T side of Nuke is flying away, man.
It's true. I mean, we're getting to a point as well where you really cannot allow this T side to get many more, or else you're in a lot of trouble. Little set being thrown here. Lobby control taken. 2 pistols playing up close. Could be good. And Vibes can hit that shot. Joel's gets deleted.
Oh, yours getting baited in. Okay. Looking good at the top end of the ramp. Tensky on the MP5. Kind of wishes he wasn't right now, but we'll see what he can do with it. P250 goes unchecked as well. So, Canada, again, having their aggression checked, their cockiness, I think it is safe to say. It comes across. We've all seen it. We've all played enough Counter-Strike to know what this is. Just 2 of them remaining, and ultimately not looking good with the HP bars.
This is not good. I mean, yeah, in this round as well, it's so simple to see where Canada just not clearing their angles properly. Every single fight that's been taken so far, bar the first, it's just Canada, their back turned. Millionaire thrust into a tough 1v4. The first is found. Does he clear close left? The answer's no, not properly. And another one. 4 to 5 kills. The Panama fine there. I mean, credit to them, but Canada just not clearing basic angles. I mean, the first 2 in towards ramp. I don't know how they don't know about the second guy, because he picks up the gun, right? And they know that Deagle's the one spamming here, so they should know that there's a second alongside him. Not clearing top hot. Again, pretty rookie. Doors open. It's a super common angle. And then backside, the other common angle for the A side. So for Canada, I think just a little bit too aggressive in that one. Just trying to be a little bit too audacious, and yeah, they just get checked for a second.
Ooh, North EP gonna find that opener. Panama back in proceedings here, potentially. We'll see. Drop down the vent. You'd assume it's been heard. Makes quite the noise. There's a couple of them down there, in fact. So, gonna get a little weird. Push up towards ramp. Completely unexpected. Clean find. Looking for the next as well. Oh, Joel's guesses the wrong way. Golden under threat. Doesn't know where to look, but the railings will save him for one more. Still that advantage thanks to the AWP shot earlier on. Bombs spilled upstairs is a bit awkward. Meanwhile, down the vent ladder, Yuz comes in late. Finds one, spots the shadow, pre-fire in to make another happen. And it is Pulper to do it all alone. He's got no info on the second man. Now he'll know, but we'll see here.
Pulper, right idea. He probably can't deny the bomb plant, though. This is the issue. And he will fall nonetheless. I think it's the right move. Trying to jump out a window there. He had a bit of a gap to work with, but unfortunately, it's not to be. 7 now for Canada. And they respond well. I think it goes down to that 1 versus 2, but in a pretty aggressive stance just before that bomb goes down to make sure that Panama can't try and deny them in rotation, because I think that's the right way to go about it. Getting aggro, getting up in their face. Yeah, very nice setup. There's a smoke for double doors. If he is to come in that direction, if he comes on a single, the smoke will probably cover that for the most part as well. It would have been fine, ultimately. So, Canada back to a pretty strong point. The buy is very weird, though. Oh, the surf is beautiful from Joel's as well. Tensky can find one more. VP gets caught. They're just barreling over towards hell.
Tensky finding the head of another. Tote just splitting the difference on... Okay.
Alright.
Alright. We're getting a little ahead of ourselves here, fellas. Either way, Golden is alone in this one. Can he take any money with him into the next round is sort of the big question. He's got a UMP. Rolling round from behind. There's one in front as well. They open the door in good time, and he will indeed be dropped. 8 rounds here, looking good for Canada. 9 on the horizon with the weaker buy all Panama can do. So it does feel they are confident in their CT side series.
Yeah, exactly that. So far, so good. Yeah. A little bit of fun they're having, but I think as long as it's not costly, I don't mind too much. They're jumping around that corner too, just to really seal the door. 8-3, heading into the final round of the half. The buy, once again, a little middling, in all fairness. We've got double FAMAS, double MP9. And an M4 to boot. No one towards close red. Two were in main. One is back towards sight. The other playing up close. Might catch them on the cross, but actually, Holper loses life.
Okay, what the hell has happened to this round? The kills spring round from Canada so very quickly. Another team kill. We're being funny here, guys. I mean, it seems like Tensky and Gabby have got a bit of an issue between them. I don't know that that one was necessarily intentional. All the same, 9-3 at the turn of the half. Canada looking for the quick finish and looking to solidify their spot at the World Esports Championships in just a few months' time.
Well, 9-3. They're getting ever closer to exactly that. And, hey, like we said, deservedly so as well. This has been a Canadian side who have really been lights out for basically the entirety of this game. They've looked so good. They really aren't making too many mistakes. They're having a little bit of fun. But, like I said, as long as it doesn't cost them rounds, I can't complain. If the end result is all the same, who cares? CT side now for Canada. They're going to come down. That's a hell of a lot of damage. We're getting a Zeus out, but he didn't expect 3 more behind him.
No, very true. And they have given up control, but the Julie's coming round. Too many targets. The second set unable to get anything going. It is Tensky with a late move, and he does take ahead, but loses his kind of in the same moment, it felt like. Panama will get themselves the pistol. So we might be on a little bit here. I would imagine there's going to be a force out from Canada. You know, why not? Is their argument, but it's scary. It is scary for me. If they drop that, drop the rifle, the gap is going to close real fast.
Yes, exactly. Do you see that force come through? Scout, Mag 7, a few upgraded pistols. See what they can bring to the table. I get tested with a quicker hit once again. They seem to like these. 5.7 is good for the first. Might want more, but this time not to be. The Mag 7 is causing some problems, though.
Yeah, maybe a few. So we'll see. Definitely on the cards. The smoke at Heaven will keep yours at bay, but he still manages to find one more outside than anything. It's Vibs, however, they go flying in. 5-7. Can't quite get it. Vibs was vulnerable. Nothy P needed to defend him, and he does so well. Yeah,
nice. Nice work. 9-5. Honestly, maybe a little bit of a conversation can brew here. I mean, this is where I was going to say this next round should be a throwaway, but we're actually going to see another force come through for Canada. I mean, hey, why not? Right, we've got kind of nothing to lose, I guess, in this situation. They've got so many rounds in arrears, and they've had sort of a fair decent amount of success on the force buys. So why not try and make this a little better? Once again, though, trying to see if they can get up close. And the Mag 7 gets one, but then insta-traded.
Yeah, the Mag 7. The Mag 7. It's going to keep cropping up here for Canada, I feel. They are definitely having their fun. Melio down below. Pretty good spot for him. Pretty good information, ultimately. Yuz looking to get giddy. Wins out the fight, despite Tote being ready. So a man advantage at the moment for Canada. Can they hold on to it is, of course, the big question. Melio drops quite easily. MP9 under threat here. Yuz holding close, getting advanced. Does manage to find the head of another. But he falls. This scout, however, could be deadly. Both of them within that one-tap range.
Yeah, so low, isn't it, aren't they? I mean, Joel's opting for the pistol here, and it is the right call. Especially if they come up close. But they're going to group up towards ramp. Making a little move here. One is down already. With that Mag 7. Oh my god, he's going to get behind. Joel's has got this. This timing basically couldn't be any better. As long as he commits down towards B. Now he will, because his teammates heard this bomb going down. And he comes, he opts for an MP9 as well. This could be good in this situation. They're both going to come back towards top ramp.
Nice pick up from Joel's. Oh, Nothy P is a little panicked. Surely got to go down here. Finds a clean headshot, though, and it's all going to be onto the Mag 7. Been heard. And Nothy P's just trying to squeeze away, and he does get the drop. Gabby not ready for the angle. And this is what I was talking about. I mean, again, Canada continuing to buy up. Like, their econ is all over. They're going to keep doing it. The disrespect angle may well catch up with them here, Neo. Panama indeed getting close with the clutches, but I still feel like this is going to come back to bite Canada if they're not careful.
It's true. It's very true. They do need to be careful, I think, for Canada. They're so, happy to go back into these forces time and time again. And I guess with loss bonus, each and every time they do get better and better in a way. But at the same time, they still lost a few in a row. Panama have made this a little bit of a closer game. We do need to be careful. 9-6. 3 rounds the difference now. Attack pause called. Canada probably could have closed out both of those rounds as well, but just a couple of mistakes right at the tail end is what cost them. All right. Back into this Forster. Let's see what they got this time. First 2 didn't work out. Spam the M4. Doesn't start off well.
Oh, the door looks dangerous over here. Gabby ready to go. Meanwhile, outside, there's also fights going down. It's going to swing the way of Panama. Tensky spotted and easily picked up. Oh, it's fallen apart for Canada. They're getting a taste of their own medicine here. Panama picking up speed. Yuz is all alone in the first minute of the round. Canada dropping off a cliff here and Panama punishing them for their overconfidence.
Oh, yeah, the Flames, no chance there for Yuz. Now, surely, we've lost 3 rounds in a row. Surely for Canada, we're going to take a low buy here, right? And then we're going to, reset the econ and go in towards the next? No, is the answer. I did actually see that M4. It looked like it got sold. So maybe they actually are going to finally take a little bit of a breather. But what we're seeing in these rounds, I don't think it's really necessarily the buy that's going wrong. I just think Panama are actually playing quite well. They're just barreling in towards the site as a group, and they're playing off the back of each other. And they know that they can trade and play this pack mentality. And it works well. Oh, interesting decision by Tensky. Doesn't work out.
Yeah, definitely getting punished here for sure, man. Really, gonna have to watch themselves. Oh, scout lands. Oh! That looked like it was on. But Nothy P survives. Albeit on low HP. Stray headshot lands. This is where things get a bit more interesting now. 4v4. Retrieved AK for Gabby.
Vibes. Holding. Should get his chance. He will. Poper also going to catch Gabby. Scout no scoping. Interesting decision. And will get punished in the end there by Joel's MP9. 1. Maybe on here, in all fairness. Second as well. Hang on a moment. He's made this 1 versus 1. Bomb going to be tapped. Committing to the fight. He wants to swing and he's going to catch him in the back lines. The one time they actually take a lesser buy is the one that Canada win to lock in double digits. And of course, be 3 rounds away now from taking the map, taking the series. Oh my, getting close. Very, very close. And of course, in winning that, because it was low buy before, they can full buy properly in towards this one. And maybe a chance for them to once again rekindle the flame and find that form. Canada lost it for a little bit. They allow Panama in towards this map. But now the buy back in favor. Maybe something to work with.
Yeah, we'll see here, man. Going to be interesting to find out what Panama have got for us. Oh, big fight going down over here. Is it going to be checked? Nothy P does indeed look in, but only halfway. And Joel's has gotten the info, so he does go down, but was also looking for a bit more, right? Not wanting to mess around here. Pulper comes round, swings in for 1, looking for the second, and it does indeed happen. Panama have regained the lead thanks to an individual moment. Joel's, though, still in behind, still looking to do the damage. Could get away with a lot here if he plays this one right. He is tracking massively. Look at this. This is where the confidence comes in a in a good way, right? Because he is not afraid to go for this play. May well just be able to mow them all down. Not quite. Dealt with quickly into the 1v1, but it's low for Pulper. Surely Yuz gets this, he feels. Has to pull off the reload. Space for Pulper to reset the game. Flash comes in. It's enough to give him confidence. It was nowhere near, but just that little distraction into the instinctive play of Pulper, and Canada come away with their 11th.
Yeah, I was wondering how long he was going to just continue following them around. I mean, he might have even joined them all the way down towards B if given that chance, but I don't think he wanted to cost his teammate his life. Gets 1.5, which is enough to then set up for the half and then the 1v1 at the end. Nice work from Canada. No buy for Panama. They can't, well, I mean, they do buy, but they can't fully bring really anything to the table. So this does feel like a big call to make. Double Mac 10. Tech 9s and a P250. That is a crazy decision by Tensky. I'm not sure what we're going for there, but it doesn't work out. Bomb is dropped, however.
Yuz. Picks off Tote. Looking to finish the round and get that 12. He will lock it in. Looking good here for Canada as Panama. They had a bit of room in there, but yeah, we could see Canada forcing in, not giving the respect across in the fights. And indeed, again, Panama have made them demand said respect, have made them question themselves a little, but ultimately Canada, the stronger side, and just able to tap back into that. 5 in a row going to be required by the Panamanians, and the buy is not brilliant.
All right. Last hurrah. Feels like for Panama. Double AK, double Mac 10. Molotov behind, going to force them into an engagement. One they probably didn't want to take. As Gabi will double down with the MP9. These could be curtains here in the map, the series, and the qualifier. At least for the stream portion. Pulper on to back on towards Joel's. Looking for another. He might be given an opportunity, but a 1-for-1 isn't good. Oh, nice shot from Vibes, however.
Oh, Gabi finds the key kill. Vibes a little caught off by it. It's down to the 1 versus 1. Both of them on 11 HP. I mean, what are the odds of that? For the game, for the qualification spot. Gabi just hanging out, not expecting this move. I think positionally might get bested, but just second guesses himself and is like, okay, I'm going to drop away. He may well have slipped through my fingers. Just keep it moving. Keep it moving. And this is, you know, the clutch, the 1vx textbook move on Nuke. Keep it moving. You never know what kind of a drop you're going to get. And just eliminate yourself, I suppose, getting dropped on. Tote clearing so many angles, not going to spot the CT out, so should be able to get a clean plant at the very least.
Yeah, but I'm going to go down. It's a long old rotate now for Gabi. Hell of a distance to cover. Making his way up vent. Tote clears, doesn't spot anything, but he's holding the right angle, and he's going to be gifted the kill. Panama stay alive. And another round in which Canada just a little bit of an over tendency to fight. And it does cost them massively, in fact. As now, once again, we can look in towards this and see there's a world in which Panama can kind of come back into this a little bit. I mean, there is going to be money left in reserves for Canada, at least enough for them to buy. We know they have this tendency to want to force buy because they've worked. So ultimately, why not? But in that instance, overfighting, giving too many opportunities over towards Panama, and it does allow them back in towards the game. Rifles across the board, bar Tensky. And an AWP in play for Melio. Let's see, can they close it here, or is Panama going to keep staying alive?
Well, indeed, this is it, right? They have shown us a good couple of rounds in places, so we know that they are indeed capable. Canada gotta lock in once again. Tensky on the 5-7 makes it happen for the first, clearing his angles as best he can, and the 5-7 keeps going. They're unable to pin him down. That shoulder peak speed of the pistol getting the better of Panama and might just be enough. The AWP finishes it off. Canada will do it, locking their spot in to Riyadh, our second qualifier here from the North American side of things, as they will take the 2-0 victory over Panama.
Yeah, credit, absolute credit coming through to this Canadian side. A couple of moments which are definitely questionable in towards Nuke, but I think they realise that by the end there, they were the side who were going to be locking in that spot. I don't think they were really ever doubting themselves, and they showcased it in the end. A really, really nice deliverance for what was ultimately a pretty easy performance. They had a couple of moments which were maybe potentially questionable, but I think they just showcased again just how strong this side actually can be. Brilliant performance from Canada, really, really impressive stuff, and now that will conclude the North American and South American qualifiers as well. All the teams locked in for the World Esports Championship. From North America, it's going to be the United States of America and Canada in two very dominant series for them today.
Yeah, indeed, and maybe if you have been with us the whole way through and just kind of catching up and watching Counter-Strike, the South American side of things, which did indeed get closed out yesterday, but Team Argentina, Team Chile over there as well, just to sort of keep you updated with the Americas region as a whole. No LAN for this one, is all online, so straight qualification to the World Esports Championships itself, whereas, of course, Africa and Asia have got their own LAN qualifier to get through as well before those teams get fully locked in. I do believe the European teams also getting all locked in. Have they all gone down? Yeah, yes, it looks like indeed they have, the West and the East. So yeah, it's starting to really flesh out now, man. It's starting to really flesh out with those qualifiers, but just a couple more regions to get fully decided. This is your scoreboard, of course, as Canada, to be expected, looking good, everybody chiming in. There were a couple names, man, you know, Vibs, Nothy P, kind of looked good for me on that Panama side of things, but unfortunately a bridge too far here against Canada.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think also, you know, credit to them, I think, they're showcasing just how good this Canadian side can be even when they don't play kind of semi-seriously, if I'm being completely honest, they can still showcase just how good they are. Yours, statistically, very solid performance, 26 and 12, no joke in that one. But a much better performance out from Panama. I think they got gifted a couple of chances, but they took some by brute force as well, so I cannot discredit them at all in some of those cases. A great showing, though, from Canada to close out the day. A 2-0 taken, for the most part, comfortably, cleanly, every single way we'd want to see, and, of course, booking their spot in towards the finals. I think that's all they can really ask about, right? You know, it's not about how we get there, it's just the fact that we do get there. And now I'm excited to see what they can do on LAN as well. This is a side who play a lot of reps domestically as well. I think it's an advanced, and right in saying maybe it could be a good year for them. Get out of advanced, move towards ECL, potentially have a decent showing on LAN. Could end up being a pretty good year for this fight.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think also goes into the other side of things where the Team United States also could have that same kind of effect. Just sort of looking across the other qualifiers here as well to kind of see who has made it in. You know, Czech Republic look a little bit dangerous. Denmark for sure. That's, you know, Gaming Gladiators for the most part. Team France is out there with 3D Max. You know, we've got some really stacked teams here. Hungary, Germany, all feel pretty good. But I don't know, man. I feel like there is a world in which we could see United States in particular, maybe Canada, if they really get their nose to the grindstone, getting through to the kind of latter stages. You know, maybe winning out might be difficult for them, but certainly into the higher spots, not impossible if you ask me.
Yeah, exactly that. But I guess on that note, it's probably a good time to call it. It's been a great few days, a great weekend of Counter-Strike here for the North American and South American side of things. But with that game being done, we are concluded. There will be some CS2 women's stuff happening tomorrow, I think, obviously from North America and South America as well. So same time, same place. And that's what we're going to be going on tomorrow. So if you're a fan of the Counter-Strike, fan of IESF, come back tomorrow, same time, same place, starting over for the women's tournament. But for here, we will bid you farewell. Thank you very much for joining us, Charlotte Production as well. All you guys at home for tuning in and keeping us company. And until next time, we'll see you soon.